Welcome back to my channel. So today I am cooking a few things that I like to have homemade around the house. We are out of homemade croutons and I've been on a salad kick lately, thank God. I love when I'm ready for a salad, you know. So I want to make some more homemade croutons. I want to make some homemade vanilla syrup today, and I would like to make some granola for some yogurt. And I'm thinking about making no-bake cookies. I don't need to make no-bake cookies, but I thought it would be fun to have some on hand for the kids throughout the week. We're on that off week where it's like in between Christmas and New Year's, and you just don't know what to do. So I thought that would be fun to do for them. We'll see if we get there or not. But anyways, I'm going to bring you guys along and show you how I make all this. Okay, so vanilla syrup homemade is so easy. I've had that on for a while. I forgot to turn it off. You need 1 cup of water, and then you need 1 cup of sugar, and you just want to stir this until the sugar is completely melted. Once that dissolves completely and cooks through, I'm going to add in some pure vanilla extract, and I think I'm going to add about a teaspoon. Whatever is left in this is what I'm going to add. Slightly boiling, so I turned the heat off. Sorry if you hear my kids yelling in the background. For this in here, now that I've poured it off the heat, I think that might have been like a little bit less than a tablespoon. So I'm going to put this there and let that cool down, and then when that cools, I'm going to dump it into a mason jar, and that way I can store it in the fridge and pour it in my lattes when I'm ready for it. I almost forgot to tell you, you need a little bit of salt. I don't really measure it. I would just do like a pinch of salt. I'm gonna mix that in, and then now I'm gonna let that cool. Okay, so next I'm gonna do some granola. I have a new recipe of granola. I don't have coconut oil to replace it with, and instead of mashed banana, so we're gonna try that. All right, you need 2 cups of oats. Kind of spilled some. Like a third, maybe, cup of honey. I want enough for it to stick together. I'm gonna throw the rest of this in there. It's vanilla flavoring because we're out of the extract. Then I'm gonna put in about 2 tablespoons of cinnamon. Sissy, quit throwing stuff. Okay, and now I'm gonna do we're gonna do like a cup of pecans. Yeah, quit throwing stuff. Did I just buy my husband a food processor? Could I be doing this a lot easier? Yes, absolutely. But I'm going to be honest, I don't want to take it out and use it and have to wash it, so we're just going to do this. Give it a stir. Okay, I'm going to line this cookie sheet with some parchment paper. It's a really interesting mix of smells because you smell the banana, you smell the pecans, and then you smell the cinnamon. I'm gonna pop this in the oven for about 20 minutes on 350. The next thing I'm gonna make is croutons. I usually try to save like the end pieces of the breads, and I don't have any, so I'm just gonna use some of our regular bread. It's always better though if it's stale. Definitely use the end pieces because when else are you gonna use them? And I just literally pull them apart. I don't like make them perfect. Some are big, some are small. I just, I don't take the time to make them like all the same size. Personally, I kind of like it that way. All right, so this is what it's looking like. I'm gonna drizzle some avocado oil over it. I would usually do like olive oil, but toss that around. All right. Now, you can do whatever seasonings you want to do, but I'm going to do some pepper. a little bit of salt, and then I'll do Italian seasoning. Then I do Italian seasoning, and I kind of go crazy with it. Sheet lined with parchment paper, and I'm just going to dump that on the sheet. Them around, and then this will also cook at 350 for about 10 minutes. Now I'm going to make some no-bake cookies. I figured I'd go ahead and get that done, and it is 1 stick of butter. You'll have to let me know, but anytime I make these and it has rained, they never sit right. So I'm interested to see if they sit today because it has rained, but it's also very windy outside, so I feel like there's not a ton of moisture in the air. Because the ground's not super wet. So maybe we'll get lucky. Anytime that it rains, they never sit. So fingers crossed this isn't a waste of time. So while that's melting, I'm gonna pour this into my jar. This is our syrup. Oh, perfect. All right. So I'm going to let this cool down, and then I'm going to put the lid on it. And I'm also going to be making a latte in a little bit with you guys, and I'm going to be using that. Melted a little bit. I'm going to pour in my 1/2 cup of milk. And we're going to let that melt down a little bit more.
That's how it is. That's how it is.
Mm-hmm. So you need 1 3/4 cup of sugar. I'm going to stir that and let the sugar dissolve. All right, now I'm going to pour in 1/3 cup of cocoa powder. So you want this to get all nice and mixed in. Very tricky cookies. But the thing that always works for me is I don't start my timer until we have a rolling boil. So if a little bit is boiling, I still don't start my timer until the whole pot is boiling. Very, very finicky. And once it all is boiling, you set your timer for 1 minute. All my ingredients ready because you need to be fast with this, so you have to work super fast. So while that is getting in the process of boiling, I'm going to set out some parchment paper and get that ready. Okay, you see how the pot is boiling, but it's not boiling everywhere? So we're going to watch that until we see it boil like around the whole rim. 1 minute, now we got to work fast. I usually kind of eyeball a cup of peanut butter. I think I'm going to do a little bit more. Honestly, I probably do more than a cup. Oh, I just slung peanut butter all on the floor. All right, now I'm going to pour in a little bit of salt, not too much. Stir that up a little bit. I would usually put vanilla extract, but we've already used all of it, so I don't have any to put in there. I'm sure it will be fine. All right, now we need 4 cups of oats. I already have 2. Got to get 2 more. All right, mix that in and fingers crossed. I usually can tell once I'm stirring it if we're good or not. I'm gonna go ahead and turn the heat off. Okay, yeah, I think we're gonna be okay, y'all. All right, I'm gonna bring this over here. I'm gonna stir this up and then we're gonna spoon it out onto our parchment paper. But first I gotta get the granola out the oven. They kind of seem a little crumbly today. Of course, because I'm making them on video. I've already made 2 batches this season and they both came out perfect, but this one, of course, since I'm filming it, is gonna be off. This is the granola. Looks really good. Okay, so this is the vanilla syrup. I'm going to put the lid on it for the mason jar. And then we can pop this into the fridge. All right, and then we have our granola. I think I'm gonna put the granola in one of these jars. I'll just kind of break it up a little bit. So that fit perfectly in the jar. Okay, and this is what our croutons are looking like. They look perfect, so I'm gonna let those cool down a little bit before I put them in this plastic container. I sometimes put these in mason jars, but I think I have too many to put in a mason jar this time, so I'm gonna use this. Let's put these croutons in our container. Can you see me? Got to give them a taste test just to make sure. Those are perfect. Croutons. Let's make an iced latte with our syrup. I just got this one. I am making a mess. I have been making such a mess over here with this espresso machine. I just got this for Christmas and I love it. I think I finally figured it out. It took a while to get used to it, but I think I finally have it. I'm gonna pull that shot. I'm actually gonna pour some of this in there. Okay, so this is what we're looking like. I'm just gonna pour the syrup into the espresso, just a little bit. Oh, that might have been too much. So this is the first time I've done an iced latte with homemade syrup. So I'm gonna try this and see if I need any more. I know some of y'all might have just cringed at me doing that and shocking the espresso, but I have tried so many different ways and I feel like that has been the best way to do it so I don't get it too milky. Okay, let's try. Oh yeah, that is perfect. I think I will pour just a tad bit more vanilla in there. Oh, that might have been too much. Oh yes, 1000% perfect. Love it. I think I did shock my espresso. Sometimes I will wait a few minutes and I didn't do it that time. So it's not as strong as it could be, but it's still good. Anyways, I hope y'all enjoyed this video. If you want to see more like homemaking videos, let me know down below. This is pretty much my life. I just do stuff like this and piddle around my house and take care of my children. So yeah, I hope y'all enjoyed this video and I'll see you guys next time. Bye.